I'm Dr. Jacobi Cleaver.
And I'm Dr. Jacob Wilson.
And we are the OD'ing on Movies podcast.
We're two practicing optometrists who love movies, and we found a way to combine our two loves into one podcast.
We pick a movie, we watch it, we break it down while incorporating the optometry elements.
So grab your favorite movie theater snack and let's get started.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to another episode of the OD'ing on Movies podcast. My name is Dr. Jacobi Cleaver. I'm here with co-host and my buddy, Dr. Jacob Wilson. And we're
What's
back
up?
Episode, and we have a special guest. For those who are listening and not watching, we have a special guest, and we'll allow him to introduce himself in just a second. And then we'll talk about the movie that we're getting into. I don't know how these two decided on this movie, but we're just going to roll with it. So, special guest, please, man, tell us your name, give us a little background about yourself, all the good stuff.
Hey guys, I'm Dr. Brian Sturgill, and I'm a Midwestern grad. I was in the first graduating class back in, 2013. So been in practice for over a decade. I was actually talking to an ophthalmologist today, and he was like, "Yeah, now that we're like in the mid part of our careers," and I don't really think about that. But I live in San Diego with my wife and my two kids, and I've got a small direct care business here. We do a little bit of med legal work, like TBIs and concussion, workups, and then do some direct care in some nursing homes and care facilities. And for about 10 years, I was a retail sublease holder, and practiced in some rural communities outside of San Diego, and were kind of Medicare-based practices, and so that was, the first, I guess, half of my career. I also hold a real estate license. I've been a real estate investor kind of along the way since I first graduated, and
Cool.
Dealing with the stress of a flip right now, actually.
Oh,
Just
really?
before I started this, I was trying to put out a fire on a project I'm working on out here in San Diego. But that's, in a nutshell, a little bit about me.
Not a real fire, right? Like a metaphorical fire?
Metaphorical fire, yeah.
That was
Okay.
catastrophic.
Okay.
Yeah. Trying to get an appliance package delivered for a house that it needs to get staged and get photos and get on the market before the weekend. So, yeah.
Man, that's cool. How'd you get into doing that along with optometry?
Yeah. Great question.
Oh, that's a good question. I kind of can sometimes look at like key points as we all can in life, where it's like, hey, that was a pivotal decision, or kind of a key turning point in life, so to speak. And a friend of mine, he's actually a fireman and a very successful real estate investor. And years ago, he said, "Brian, as soon as you finish school," he said, buy a piece of real estate. And so I did that. And he was like, even though you're going to be a doctor, he was like, and I was single at the time, he said, rent out rooms. So I think we call that house hacking now, but that was kind of my first property. I bought a rental. I was an Air Force optometrist. My first few years, I guess I left that out. And that sort of started the journey. And I was lucky to get into a real estate market when things were still appreciating. We've had this really, big run over the last, 5-7 years, right, where it's a harder market now than it was, 13 years ago or whatever it was when I bought my first house.
Yeah.
But multifamily, I've got an Airbnb. Jacob stayed out there in Mammoth.
Yeah.
Commercial medical space, and so kind of done stuff in all the asset classes as well.
So is that where you guys went snowboarding at recently?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's we were up at the top of a lift, and I think that's when we decided we wanted to do Predator.
Well, you know what? Now that you guys said that, and Brian has spent some time in the Air Force as an Air Force optometrist, so that kind of makes a little bit more sense here. Why we would pick Predator, a cult classic, peak macho action film type.
It really, they don't make movies like they used to.
They do not.
I had so much fun watching that last night because it was just shameless. I loved it. What were you going to say?
I
Brian?
think Jacob was trying to talk me into go down like a black diamond or a double black diamond or some run I didn't want to go down. So I had to like channel that machismo a little bit to build up some courage. That's how
I'm sure. Actually, about halfway through our morning together, Brian had to get going, and I was having some trouble keeping up with how fast he was going. And he's like, Jacob, this might be our last run together. He's like, I want to make sure I get a few more in because I was really holding him up. And then I just had to totally send it to keep up with him the rest of the day. He pushed me so hard.
That was fun.
I'm scared to go surfing with you now, though.
So you snowboard and surf? Well, you got to if you're in San Diego. You got to surf.
Yeah. You have to. You at least got to have some surfboards in the garage if you live here.
Actually, the first time I talked to Brian on the phone, I
was just gonna ask if his wife also snowboards and surf and all that good stuff.
She likes to ski, and she's, she's probably going to listen to this podcast. But so yeah, she's a hardcore skier.
Okay.
You watched
sit by the fire.
You had to watch Predator with you the other day. We should have had her on a podcast to discuss.
Oh,
maybe she.
Ask her how she felt about that as a Mother's Day gift. Watching Predator. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
No, I would say Jacobi. One of the first. So the way I met Brian is I filled in for him at his Walmart. It was a Walmart sublease in Yuma, Arizona. It was like a year or two ago at this point.
Yeah.
So that's I met him through like a fill-in Facebook group. I think we were talking on, and but the first time I talked to him, were you in Jakarta surfing?
Maybe.
Okay, yeah. It was like he's like, hey, he was like, yeah, I'm on a 10-day surf trip, like somewhere on the other side of the planet, and I was like, okay, cool. That's awesome.
We were in the Mentawais, yeah, but we had to go through Jakarta to get there. Yeah, that was
okay.
That's a good trip. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I gotta hang out with Brian more. I knew that right away. I was like, hey.
So he's surfing on the other side of the world. That's why he needed to fill in, huh?
That's right.
I drove down to Yuma, one of the beautiful places in Arizona. You ever heard of Yuma, Jacobi?
Wait a minute. Wasn't there a movie about Yuma?
Oh, there was the 310 to Yuma. You talking about that one?
The old school had Christian Bale in it, right? Or something like
that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, there was the 310 to Yuma. It's exactly halfway between Phoenix and San Diego. So anyone in Phoenix who grew up in Phoenix going to California, they know Yuma is like their halfway point to get gas. There's also a buffet style KFC there. It's the only one I know of.
Man, I don't know about that.
You know what though? It's been years since I've been to that. Maybe it's not there anymore. But my grandpa used to always, Jake, we're stopping at the buffet KFC in Yuma on the way to San Diego.
Nice.
So how far is Yuma from San Diego driving?
It's just under 3 hours. So usually about 2 hours, and it depends on where you live in San Diego, but it took me about 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. So I had retail subleases in Phoenix, Yuma, Payson, and Nogales, Arizona. So kind of outside of Phoenix, like sort of found these more rural, maybe less desirable, locations. But I enjoyed practicing in those places, and patients were really grateful, and it just, really, really enjoyed it, actually. Kind of miss it.
It's for students or anyone listening, kind of trying to decide where they want to practice. Being in the city is great for sure, but there's something special about doing rural optometry and working with that patient base. From the scope of practice you're going to see everything walk through the door, and just the type of patients you're going to have. they're going to be generally very grateful for the care you give them. So, and it kind of sounds like, honestly, it sounds like all three of us kind of enjoy similar types of settings. Jacobi works at a community health hospital there in Houston. So that's the setting I enjoy. I think, and I think it's the best way to practice optometry, which I've said, I think multiple times. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so should we hop into Predator?
We should hop into Predator, man. And I hate to be the one to tell anybody, but if you hadn't seen Predator, we're probably gonna have a couple of spoilers here, man. But this movie came out in '87. You had plenty of time to watch it.
In 39 years. I think Arnie is the only one. Arnie and the girl, I was looking it up. Forgot Anna, the girl that played Anna. They're the only ones still alive, I think.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so
that's a hell of a way to start.
Oh, who is?
Man?
Jesse Ventura, because Arnold was the governor of California, and Jesse Ventura was the governor of Minnesota.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's correct, and that is correct. That's absolutely
okay.
Jesse Ventura was just on the news the other day. I did see that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which one is Jesse Ventura? Let's look it up real quick. So that's a prerequisite for being a governor of a state is being in Predator. That's what I'm.
Or
hearing.
You have to either win a bodybuilding contest or be a former wrestler.
Oh, this dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and he's like a real Vietnam vet and a retired professional wrestler.
He's a certified badass, bro.
Cool. Okay.
Just like everybody else in this movie.
Right. Yeah, somehow the least badass person was Carl Weathers for half the movie.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that kind of ironic?
I didn't like Carl's case. He was
yeah, well, and they did that on purpose, but yeah, I forgot that he wasn't really, not that he was a bad guy, but he wasn't really a great guy in the movie. I forgot that till I watched it. But is this the movie where the get to the chopper from Arnold Schwarzenegger originally comes from?
Absolutely.
Okay, I always thought it was a different movie.
I did too.
But I think he says it in True Lies. But True Lies came out after this, the one with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, which is really good too. Yeah, but I looked it up. It said the chopper line, "Get to the chopper," is Arnold Schwarzenegger's favorite catchphrase from his entire career. And
I loved how. What'd you say?
I said, and he says it a couple times in this movie. It's just,
I loved how shamelessly cheesy they were with him. Like, I forgot that this is how Arnold used to be in his movies, just like catchphrases. Like he threw the machete at the guy, got him stuck to the wall, and he's like, "Stick around," and just, like, things like that. Like the whole movie. I was like, "Come on!" This is one of the coolest alien movies ever, and I just didn't remember all the cheesy parts that happened. And I love how he's just basically like deadlifting a car at one point. Like they're just doing everything they can to show his muscles and his lifting, and which I was here for. I was having fun. It made me want to get up and start working out last night for sure.
Yeah. So speaking of working out, another one of the fun facts I seen when that I looked up when watching this movie is that Arnold Schwarzenegger actually had like a bunch of gym equipment shipped to the set so he could work out in between.
Okay.
Which is very on par for Arnold, right? You got to keep the pump. You got to keep the
pump in. That's right.
Yeah, got to
pumping iron, man.
They just don't make them like this anymore, man. But this was just kind of a fun movie from and some of the jokes in here. I don't think you would ever see these jokes again. At least.
Like, are you talking about the dirty jokes? The one guy kept trying to tell. Yeah.
I don't think those fly.
Stuff that doesn't fly today. Yeah, there's things.
No, this is definitely not flying. It's just so vulgar and just out of bounds with it. It would just come out of nowhere, man. But so what's the premise of this movie? Well, I mean, I guess we should give the audience just a little breakdown.
Yeah, no. So, and this came out as a standalone movie in 1987. So now, when you hear about Predator, you're going to hear about sequels and Alien versus Predator and video games and all this and comic books but that wasn't this. This was a standalone movie that came out in 1987. I don't think they say which country they're in. If they did, I don't remember. I couldn't figure it out, but it's a Spanish-speaking country. Basically, Arnold Schwarzenegger and his team, they're like a special ops rescue team. And they are told to go in and save a diplomat whose helicopter has crashed on the wrong side of the border. And so so that's the setting. And we're in the jungle so it's got to be like South Central America somewhere, wherever they're trying to set it. And they, there's some pretty cool, like Vietnam-esque helicopter scenes in the beginning where they fly in and they get dropped off in the middle of the forest or the rainforest to try and find these people. And then they pretty quickly they find out that not everything's as it seems, and they're actually being hunted by the Predator.
The Predator.
So yeah,
now,
yeah.
I'm sure Brian doesn't know, but I have to ask: Do you know what the original name for the Predator was before they settled on the Predator name?
Ooh, like for the
like the name of the film?
Name it?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know.
Man, it's pretty obvious. Like, take a guess.
The Hunter?
It was called the Hunter before, and then they settled on the Predator. Yeah.
Okay.
It just went
Really?
straight synonyms here, which is a.
Again, they don't make movies like they used to.
No.
You didn't have to be that creative. Just one word, and that was it. One word and a bunch of buff dudes and an alien. You have a world-class movie.
World-class movie, man. And so where do we live out? So they go in and they're looking for, it's a rescue mission, and they're looking for somebody out there, and then they encounter the Predator, which is just insane.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and first they encounter the Predator's been hunting other people, and so they find some pretty gruesome, like skinned bodies, and it's obviously not just regular, war crimes or like killing in war that's happening. It looks like someone's keeping these people as trophies, and like skulls are missing and skin is missing. So it's pretty gruesome, That's one thing I'll say though. I think movies they'd be a little more gruesome nowadays if they made this, like as far as the gore and everything goes.
Right.
But no, it's pretty gruesome, and you don't know what's hunting these people. You don't see the Predator until probably 3/4 of the way into the movie, I would say.
My wife asked me that, like the first night, because I don't even think we split it in two nights, and she's like, "Do we ever see the Predator?" Like, because you see that on hologram. I was like, "Yeah, don't worry, we'll see him."
I mean, even for the time that if this movie came back in '87, and I feel like the special effects and the graphics, they still work even today. Like, I didn't feel like it was that dated.
It wasn't that bad, yeah.
It wasn't that bad at all, man. But I guess it's just we can just kind of lean back into Brian because he made a interesting comment in our text group the other day when his time in the Air Force. He was talking about some very expensive tech that he had the chance to get his hands on.
Yeah, that was because you start to figure out as you watch the movie that the Predator has some kind of heat sensing, visual, system, and so anyway, I remember when I was in the Air Force, they sent us they sent all the optometrists to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base for some training, and we go into this dark room, and this guy gives each of us ODs like a pair of NVGs, and he like has us put them on, and we turn them on. NVGs is night vision goggles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In the Air Force, everything has an acronym, and so sometimes they just roll off the tongue. But they gave us all some night vision goggles, and we put them on. We're kind of playing with them, and there's a handful of us that have them on, and after we take them off, he's like, can anybody guess how much each pair of those NVGs are? And these, we just give these to our like pararescuemen. It's just part of their kit. And this was in 2013 or 14. So I'm sure with inflation they're more, but at the time they were like $55,000 a pair.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think at the time, like a 3 Series BMW was like 50 or 60 grand. And the guy said it. He's like that's the same price as like a 3 Series BMW. And it was like, holy cow.
And you said each of the paratroopers get this as part of their. I mean,
It's
obviously,
part of their
this is
kit.
part of the kit.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't
the
think
military, they got deep pockets, man.
Yeah, you know, I don't think I want to walk around with anything that costs that much money. I wouldn't do well with it. I would drop it, spill something on it, tear it up. You know, so I just wouldn't do the paranoia alone.
Yeah.
I think Cardi B's got some Birkins that cost that much.
Well, that's Cardi B.
Yeah, I was just throwing it out there.
And Jacob, I don't even know what a Birkin is. Could you explain that to us?
I don't either. Is that shoes?
A Birkin? No, it's a bag. It's a well. Watch, I'm gonna get corrected. But I'm pretty sure it's a bag. Like Jenny's, my wife's shaking or nodding her head. It's a bag. Yeah. So,
very, very exclusive, very expensive bag.
Yeah. Unrelated. That's how Labubus got popular. There was a famous K-pop star who put a Labubu on her Birkin. So yeah, NVGs or a Birkin for anyone listening.
I would rather the NVGs, I think.
Or the 3 Series BMW. I think I'd take the 3 Series BMW.
Nah, I think I'd take the NVGs over both of those options.
Okay.
Oh, man, NVGs, like if you can walk around and see stuff like the Predator.
Walk around in the dark, that's kind of cool.
Do you know how cool that would be?
So did they were night vision, but were they also like heat sensing, like would it look like how the Predator was seeing things during the day?
I don't think it was. No, it wasn't actually. Not even. I don't think it was. And I got to jog my memory a little bit, but it's kind of like that green, like kind of that greenish gray field.
Okay. And then the heat spots are like white, probably.
Maybe they probably didn't let us play with them too much. They were to break them or something, but
I can only imagine that they're probably even better now.
Oh, I'm sure, and more expensive.
Way more expensive. But
I bet we're hitting $100,000 or getting close.
Yeah. I mean, because even if that's been just 10 years ago, I'd imagine you have to be close to that. But no, those are pretty cool. And I mean, I know this is not exactly what the Predator was wearing, but it lends a great segue to a talking point, man. But yeah, I mean, any other cool stuff you seen in the Air Force while you was there?
Oh man, any other cool stuff? Like equipment or?
Man, just whatever is not going to get us have the government knocking on us.
I was going to say.
Yeah, do you got any government secrets?
But you keep those to yourself. Too much. As long as you're not going to have anyone knocking on that door.
No, I'll tell you this. This isn't a secret. They don't tell the optometrists anything. We just sit back there and do eye exams.
So this is a pretty good point, Brian, because I know I don't know if it's any more popular now, but it seems like each branch of the military is looking. They have a need for an optometrist in some aspects. So my guess is that someone came and spoke to you while you was going through optometry school. Can you kind of detail the process of that and the application, how you got selected, and just some of the physical requirements with that as well?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. So I should say this carefully because I consider myself to be very patriotic, and being in the military is something I'm really proud of, and it's just a kind of a really proud achievement. But cool. I remember my first year of optometry school, my dad was like, "Hey, you should talk to a recruiter and see if they'll pay for your school and this and that." And I was kind of like, I was almost like, "No, I'm not going to do that." Like I'm just going to. I'll borrow money like everybody else and pay it off, and then second year rolled around. I started to realize like we're borrowing a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and or at least I was, and so I had this. I was midway through my second year, and I reached out to a recruiter classmate, and the recruiter said, "Hey, you can apply," but he was like, the application period closes in 2 weeks, and he's like, "I don't think you'll be able to get everything done because there's like interviews and all this paperwork. There's physical, like actual physicals. I had to go to this like recruiting center. And so I said, can I try? And he's like, yeah, you can try. And so I was like, and he's like, I'll help you as best I can. So I like was, trying to do school stuff. And then I'm trying to like do all these applications, and I'm calling people, seeing if they'll do like a letter of recommendation and getting transcripts and everything sent over. And was able to get everything done in within the 2 weeks, and had my physical. Me and another classmate, we did it together. They joke and call it the underwear Olympics, because they get you down in your underwear and you're like hopping around this room, and it was kind of funny. And this is actually a funny thing. So I'm amblyopic in my left eye, and my depth perception is really poor. And the guy like administering the vision test, he's like asking me some questions, and I like was not passing this test. And he's like, so what job are you applying for? And I'm like, yeah, I'm applying to be an eye doctor. And he was like, I'm just going to mark this here and I'll just pass you. And so he passed me. But I did,
Wow.
I did, yeah. I'm supposed to do this, but I'm out of there now. So they passed me on the binocular vision portion of the exam. But anyway, yeah, I got in, and then looking back, it's something I'm really grateful for, and it saved me a lot of money in student loans, and they subsequently paid for me to get an MBA, and so I've
cool.
really fortunate to have served in the military, and it was a really good experience.
So did you do the health profession scholarship? Was that what it was? Okay. Very cool. Yeah, students definitely look into that if you have any interest in that. Is it usually second year when they have you apply for that?
No, you should do it in first year. Do it as
first year. Okay.
And I'll tell you too, there were other kids that applied multiple years and they didn't get it. So I don't think it's just like, hey, let me sign up and do it. So really take the application seriously, and I was an Eagle Scout. I think maybe that helped. I don't know. I put it on my application. But me and one other class got picked up for it. And, so I think we're both grateful. He's still in, actually. He's stationed up in Idaho. So
he's
cool.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Sweet.
nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Were you influenced at all by Dr. Baker while you were at Midwestern?
Yeah, we met Dr. Baker, and that was a long time ago, but yeah, I think he was Army, wasn't he? If I remember correctly.
I don't remember. I know he was stationed in Alaska for this. I thought it was Air Force, but I guess there's an Army base up where he was at too, up there. So,
It may have been.
Jacobi, Dr. Baker was the dean of Midwestern when I was there, the Midwestern Arizona school, and he was a big military guy, and he always talked about it.
What was his? What was his first name?
Joshua. Josh.
Okay, no, this is another Baker. Then I'm speaking.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
But actually, I don't think he.
Because this is a wonderful talking point, because we do have a lot of, as you both know, and I do as well. Optometry school is super expensive. It's very expensive to go there, and maybe there's price breaks depending if it's a state school and you're you get in-state tuition and versus a private school. Is Midwestern a private school?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I went to PCO, and it's a private school as well. So I guess you can take solace in knowing that everyone's paying the same thing, but but it's probably private school is going to cost you a little bit more than a public institution out there. But this does offer a real good opportunity to, one, serve your company, your country, and two, kind of offset the cost of optometry school, and like Brian said, provide him with some very unique experiences, and he's even earned his MBA from doing that. So if any students are interested, they should look into it. But like Brian said, you will serve your country, though, right? Like, you
Yeah,
are an
yeah.
optometrist, but whether it's the Army, you're a soldier, whether it's the Air Force, you're Air Forceman, whatever else, like that is priority. And I do know a couple of students that's doing it now, and they very satisfied with their choice to pursue it. And and selfishly, I wish I would have pursued it when I had the chance, but but I can't go back. But I love hearing stories about those women optometrists who are serving in whatever branch of the military. So, of course, Brian, thank you for your service. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, yeah.
Thank you.
I get to stand
What a
up at all the
perk.
baseball games.
Yeah.
Oh, me or my wife would be like, stand up when they're like, honoring those who have served.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You've earned it, man. You've earned it. But
Yeah.
you also mentioned amblyopia. So for the audience listening, and they may not be familiar with the term amblyopia, one of you guys want to give a crack at it and explain it to the audience?
Yeah. I can. I have amblyopia in my right eye too. Basically, it can be caused by multiple things, but basically one of the eyes, it happens in childhood, one of the eyes doesn't develop the appropriate connection to the brain. And so that means even with glasses and correction throughout life, you might never get to 20/20. Maybe that eye will only be 20/25, 20/30. And in more serious cases, there's different levels of amblyopia. There's mild, moderate, severe. There's deprivation amblyopia. There's refractive amblyopia. So there's different things that can cause it. For me, it doesn't impact my life too much. I'm like 20/30, 20/25, and it doesn't sound like it impacts Brian's life too much.
But
It didn't look like it while he was snowboarding, at least. So.
And at the top of the pod, Brian mentioned a very unique mode of practice where you guys deal with a lot of traumatic brain injuries and stuff like that. And there's great. I'm sure there's a lot of traumatic brain injuries in the Predator. Like there's just a lot of stuff blowing up. People are doing tossing all over the place.
Yeah.
So can you kind of give us the breakdown of what a day in your practice with TBI patients is like?
Yeah. So I don't see a ton of TBI patients. You guys probably saw there's a pain management doctor that sees a lot of TBI patients here in San Diego, and he actually reached out to my wife. She's a neuroradiologist. So
wow.
Yeah. So she sees a lot of these TBI and a lot of these head injury, cases where she's looking at their brain and their spines and, primarily MRI. But there's a lot of studies that suggest that, there's oculomotor dysfunction that comes along with severe to even, minor, TBIs. And, a lot of these TBIs, they don't show up on imaging, but, patient will still complain of, difficulty focusing, or, they'll kind of have like some saccadic eye movements. Convergence insufficiency is very common. So you might use, some prisms or some kind of a neuroadaptive lens to try to help kind of retrain the eyes to work, concurrently. Sort of a parlay off of amblyopia as well. You want to try and get the eyes working together as a system rather than monocularly, and sometimes TBIs can disrupt that level of binocularity.
Yeah, and I think it's I don't work with a ton of TBI patients, but the ones I have, it really impacts their life. But yeah, and usually I send them off. But I'm not doing the vision therapy or anything like that. I'd send them off. But it really impacts people's lives, and it's hard for them to quantify what's happening to other doctors because all the imaging might look fine, everything
Normal
seems okay, but they're just really uncomfortable, and they have double vision, or they're but it's intermediate double vision. It's not there all the time, or they can't handle bright lights. It's even I would say the worst one, or sorry, I kept cutting you off.
No,
I would say the worst one I saw, or one of the worst ones I saw in school, was a lady who was just opening her trunk and accidentally closing it and accidentally closed it on her head. So it wasn't even that hard, just in the parking lot of a grocery store. And it, for like a year, it was really impacting her life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think when we think, well, at least when I think of traumatic brain injuries, I'm thinking of like an event that's just so impactful, right? Like, I'm not that I'm mentioning football or anything else, but I'm thinking a blow to the head that's just so impactful. But Jacob, you just mentioned, a trunk coming down on the head, which probably is pretty intense. But I would think, I've ran into things before and was fine.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess it's just kind of different strokes for different folks. Because I wouldn't think that if you just to force from a trunk.
I just saw 3 patients from this pain management doc that referred these patients over. And just a little caveat, I think this is actually really cool, like a cool niche in optometry. But here, optometrists become part of that care team. So I'm getting referrals from neurologists, from pain management docs, primary care doctors. So, we become an element in that, just that whole care team. And I think that's great for the profession. But interestingly, I saw 3 patients recently that were referred over to us, and one of them was like this really traumatic car accident. The guy had like a supraorbital lesion, like his eye was swollen, like fortunately no orbital fractures, but then another one of the patients, the one that had the least visible trauma, actually had the greatest degree.
Right.
She had a whiplash injury. Nothing was really showing up on MRI. But then, and I was the first one to do convergences, or excuse me, check her vergences. And, if you guys remember, like our normative values for like NPC are like, 5 centimeters to 10 centimeters. And, she couldn't even, it started at like 16, and like she couldn't even like start to fuse her eyes or bring them in together. In those cases too, you have to put in your notes too, like this could have been pre-existing. I didn't have any pre-existing notes, but that also is a finding that these TBI patients might present with. But it was not she didn't have any bruising. She kind of had a whiplash. She was parked and somebody rear-ended her. But it was definitely a subjective measurement that I was measuring, and she couldn't converge her eyes essentially.
So in that patient specifically, and she was referred over by another doc. When you go back to the doc, what kind of recommendations are you making?
Yeah. So good question. I kind of put some notes together with my findings, and try to sort of go through the our subjective and objective and findings, and then assessment plan, our SOAP notes essentially. And but with her specifically, we are going to try to introduce some prisms. Then I gave her some little exercises, to try to do at home, some basic VT exercises, and then we'll see her back in 3 or 4 weeks and see if there's some improvement on those vergence ranges. But it's one of the tricky parts with some of these head injuries is our tool bag is limited on, sometimes it's just identifying, hey, this is a problem or a sequelae from the injury, but we're a little bit limited on how to make it better, unfortunately.
Right. Because I would imagine that in this specific case that every aspect of the patient's life is greatly affected.
Yeah.
From driving to working to just doing any type of activities around the house. I don't know if she had any as a family or any children, anything like that. So I imagine the frustration would be through the roof. So when you're doing your initial assessment, are you pretty careful with your wording as opposed like prognosis or any of these things when you first see them?
Absolutely, and you have to be. And she's got an attorney. She got rear-ended, so her attorney's already reached out to me and is like wanting to my notes. And so yeah, you got to be mindful of the way that you document things, and that's kind of why I said if you don't have pre-existing notes too. And her last eye exam was like 4 or 5 years ago. It's but certainly that convergence insufficiency is indicative or at least a common sequela of a concussion or TBI. So
Yeah, but your notes got to be on point. There's an attorney involved.
As if a lawyer's just going to take a look at them. Yeah.
I'm going to send them to you, Jacob, to review them before I send those over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good luck with that. I don't know how much help I'll be. Dang.
Wow.
Who do you guys think the optometrist is the official Air Force optometrist was in Arnold Schwarzenegger's crew in the movie?
I don't know if he had one.
I think one of them was.
Really?
Trick question?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But
I'm like,
I feel like no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we missed a major. Yeah, we missed a major key here. if that's what
there's got to be an optometrist on every Air Force or every military rescue team.
But they was down in the jungle, so maybe there wasn't one on site.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Dude, my buddies used to love to roast me. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, the Air Force, they need optometrists on those deployments in case somebody gets something in their eye," and kind of feeling like, "Yeah, thanks, man. Do a little more than that."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what
you're
there
for,
right?
I'm there.
Exactly.
But I mean, optometrists.
Like, are we missing something from the Predator, Jacob?
No, I don't think so. I mean, but I'd like to think that most optometrists are buff like that and fight aliens.
Yeah. I mean, because either an optometrist or Arnold Schwarzenegger's they're like those only two categories on the planet that can go head up with the Predator. I mean, because we know the visual system, right? I mean, we may not have the physical capabilities. Well, maybe you guys
do. You guys are pretty jacked.
Who?
Yeah, Jacobi's always working out.
Jacob.
Yeah. And just before we got on here today, and I recently followed Brian on IG. Hey, Brian, you're pretty jacked too, man. I've seen you and your wife. It looks like you guys are extremely active over there.
Brian's like a super athlete, man.
Oh. Yeah. Did you play ball in college?
No, I sat the bench for a season. How'd you know that?
I was just asking.
Yeah. I warmed the bench for a small school for a year. So it was fun though. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool. Got to play college basketball.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
That's awesome.
I mean, I was either thinking basketball or baseball.
Yeah. No, dude, amblyopic, man. I can't hit a baseball to save my life.
Wait, where did you play basketball at?
A small school in Ohio.
Dude, that's cool.
I grew up near Cincinnati. Yeah.
Okay.
We're getting fun facts about Brian here. So, is your wife also an athlete? Did she play?
Yeah, I mean, no, but she did. She's a good athlete. She's athletic, and actually, I'm coaching my kids.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm coaching their YMCA basketball team, and we're having a blast, by the way. So that's
I was just about to ask, are you guys having fun with it?
Dude, it has been so much fun. It's just been awesome.
That's not a lot of people do that. Even if that's true, riding the bench, like you said, not a lot of people touch a college basketball court at all. That's pretty cool.
No, that's very impressive, man. Very.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I
appreciate that.
Some of us aren't even qualified to watch basketball, let alone play it. So,
man, I'm still a little sad about the Lakers getting swept.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But at least we beat up on Houston before we got out of there.
Yeah,
it's because we couldn't get Durant on the court, man.
It wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah. You're probably a Rockets guy, aren't you, Jacobi?
Yeah, he is.
We couldn't get Durant on the floor, man. So I don't know, man.
Dude, Rockets have a lot of talent. You guys will be competitive.
You think it's time to move on from Durant?
Man, I don't know. It sounds like he's moving on one way or the other. So
he's always on the move, man.
Yeah, that guy, he doesn't stay in one place for too long.
Yeah, that's true.
Might be time to move on from Houston, Jacoby.
And go where? Uma?
Yes. Uma. It was Yuma. There's a Y in there.
Should I move to
Yeah.
Should I move?
I guess you could go to OKC. That's the next closest
Take my talents
good team for you.
Well, yeah, they're pretty. OKC's pretty tough, man.
Dude, they're stacked.
They're pretty tough.
They're stacked.
What's your jump shot like, Jacoby?
Broken.
It is okay.
Yeah, no, I can't shoot anything. I hadn't picked. We had intramural basketball at PCO when I was there.
Uh-huh.
I graduated in 2011, man. So I hadn't even picked up a ball in 15 years or so.
2011. All right. All right. We're in that same.
Yeah,
we're
Jacob's the only young guy here.
years. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're
All right.
senior optometrists. Jacob's a rookie.
He's the junior.
Yeah. I'm just thriving.
JV. We're seniors here.
No, my jump shot's good. I got a good jump shot.
Yeah, good job.
I want to see it.
I do too.
Let's
see that.
Hey, yeah, next time we're at a conference, let's get 2 students to come play us in 2-on-2 or something.
Hey, I don't know if I got 2-on-2 in me, man, but we can play some horse or something.
I'm in for 2-on-2.
Oh,
okay.
Me and Jacob, we'll take whoever wants to
well,
run
because Steven from Least Confusion, he plays ball quite a bit too. So we just probably need one other person.
Yeah, I think Steven's pretty good.
I think he is too, man.
Yeah.
Lock him up?
I had a guy. His name's Jeremiah Gagnon. He practices up in Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
We played intramural with him at Midwestern, and he's the first guy I'd call. We'd walk into any court. We'd show up at like random LDS churches, and he was the best player on the court everywhere we went.
Did he play any college ball or anything?
I'm trying to remember if he did or if he was just really good in high school or what. But he was probably like 6'4", and he's dunking the ball and like, yeah, it was
just being 6'4" is a hack. How tall are you, Brian?
I'm like 6 foot, like right on the button.
Okay.
There was a guy, Lance Higby. He was a couple years below me, or a couple years, and actually he did Air Force as well. But I think he played at Southern Utah University. So
really?
Okay.
Yeah, he's a hooper. Yeah, I give Lance a call. He probably doesn't even remember me, but
we could get a team together. The traveling optometrist.
Oh yeah, we'll be good, man. We can get. I'll just like coach or something, or be a team manager or something. Yeah, Ralph. My classmate Ralph was pretty good. Rundell was pretty good, but in our school we had a PA program, and there was a cat that played for Kansas, and this guy this guy was money.
He played for Kansas?
Yeah, he played for Kansas. Yeah, he played for Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah, he was money. He was dead out there. Yeah.
That's borderline an NBA player. That's
pretty
crazy.
much, man. Yeah, everybody else on this team was terrible, but they won every game they played.
I bet.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
We're talking about the Foleys. We're talking about the good old stories from optometrists.
All right. Before we get back to Predator, Kenzie, I'm going to need you to clip this when you go back and listen to it. Calling all basketball playing optometrists. We want to hear from you. And we want to put together a team, okay? So we're going to put this out. We're going to clip it and just DM us.
Bro,
we'll make something happen.
We just can't have people showing up. We got to have tryouts, man.
Well, we'll have people show up to the tryouts.
Okay.
We got Coach Cleaver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be a real hard ass out there too, like Bobby Knight.
Yeah,
that'd be
you throw chairs at people?
Not at people, but I'll throw chairs.
I guess he didn't throw it at anyone. Yeah, he just threw it. Yeah. All right, that sounds fun. What you guys?
Who will we play? We're
dentist? I don't know.
The dentist? Is that what you said? The dentist?
Yeah, I don't know.
The dentist and the pharmacist.
Yeah. Some chiropractors or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe we can challenge some audiologists or something. Some PAs.
Yeah. Who wouldn't be? Yeah, the chiropractors and the PTs might be pretty good. So we don't want to start
that's true.
A little lower down.
Maybe like
okay. No, we'll work on it. What you?
we can take the dentist.
Maybe the veterinarians have a team they can get together. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your guys' favorite basketball movie before we get back to and wrap up Predator?
The
favorite basketball movie?
Basketball movie?
Uh-huh.
Mine's actually the pistol. I could say it. It's
Okay.
about Pete Maravich.
Pistol
Yes,
Pete.
you
Oh,
couldn't even find it if you look for it. But Hoosiers
Okay.
is a close second.
okay.
Hoosiers is pretty good.
Hoosiers
I
is
would
a close
probably my number one would probably be White Man Can't Jump
Okay.
for the comedy aspect.
That's a
Not 'cause it
comedy.
was
That's not a
anything real.
basketball movie.
Basketball,
Well, that's a-
kinda. Or is it more of a Jeopardy?
My,
I don't know.
I think mine's He Got Game with
Ooh,
Ray
Ray
Allen
Allen,
and
Ray
Denzel.
Allen.
Jesus
Yeah.
Shuttleworth. Yeah,
Well, what's the name?
and
Was it-
Denzel,
What was it called? With Samuel L. Jackson.
Coach Carter.
Coach Carter was pretty
That's a
good.
good one. Yep. That's a good
Uh
one.
huh.
Okay, so since we're on the topic, what's your favorite sports movie of all time? Don't say really-
Favorite
wait
sports
a
movie
minute.
of all time.
Brian, Space Jam is a basketball movie. That would be my favorite basketball movie.
All right. At least you didn't
Favorite
say
sport.
basketball or something.
Love and
Favorite-
basketball. Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
just glad you didn't
my
say
favorite sports movie of all time would probably have to be Little Giants.
Okay.
that. See, I'm more intense. I'm not even a hockey guy. Mine's Miracle, hands down. That movie,
Okay,
I'm ready to run through.
I can
the wall
respect
after I
that.
watch
I can respect that.
It's kind of a cheesy one, but there's a speech in this movie that my football coach in high school would play before every game. So I love it. No, it's Any Given Sunday.
Your coach was quoting Any Given Sunday.
Man, I wasn't allowed to watch that movie. I'm still not allowed
Yeah, I
to watch
don't know
that movie.
about that. Willie
He
D.
wasn't quoting it. He was playing that speech. He would play that scene for us before we went out on the field.
So could you?
Which, looking back, maybe that's kind of lazy coaching, but I mean, it got us fired up. So I don't know.
Did y'all win more than y'all lost?
My junior year, we went to the Arizona State Championship. But then my senior year, we did not do very well.
Hey, Jacob's got a brother.
I didn't
He's
know
supposed
that,
to
Jacob. I didn't.
play college ball. You guys probably talked about that.
Yeah, my little brother Jace got 12 offers right now. 12 D1 offers.
And I followed
He's a
him
baller.
yesterday, and I went to his what do you call it? Huddle?
Uh-huh.
His page or whatever else.
His stats, yeah.
Yeah, your little brother got some wheels on him, man. He can move.
Yeah. Did you see his? He had the fifth most kick return yards in the country this past season.
Wow.
And he would just he just takes off on people, man. I didn't play like that, but yeah,
It's a
he's
shame,
crazy.
Jacob, that your brother, as fast as he is, he's only the second fastest person in your family. Like you're faster than he is, right? Like you could beat him in the race now, right?
No, never in my life. I think he just clocked in at like a sub 4.740, and he like wasn't even really trading for it. He's trying to like get it down. Like he's fast. He's and if he
that's
yeah, I'm going with him to his he's going to an official visit to the University of Nevada next month.
Sweet. Cool.
So I'm kind of excited to go in. They're paying for it. Coach is picking us up at the airport, and I'll pretend I'm as cool as him for that weekend.
Do y'all need a third? I can.
If you show up, man, they're not going to tell us no. They want them to commit. So just show up at the airport and see. Yeah.
Yeah, we got totally off topic. We were discussing what now? Predator.
Predator. Yeah. Well, we're talking about macho man stuff. So
yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, man, any advice that you would leave any newly minted optometrist or an optometry student, Brian?
Whew. You know, this is the stuff where I'm like, hey, Jacob, anything I need to like prep for? No, don't worry. Hey, gosh. You know, I think the thing I would say is try to be part of the solution. You know, try to do things to make the profession better, and that can be, there's so many different ways to do that, and whether it's just being a great doctor and making a difference in your patients' lives, or if it's getting involved in advocacy, get involved and try to make the profession better. I mean, that's almost like that leave it better than you found it sort of thing. Like, find a way to try to make some improvements, and I'm talking to myself too. It's things I can do, but try to be part of that solution rather than just belly aching about the stuff that we hate about it or don't like about it.
Great advice. Great advice.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Very solid. Any closing remarks, Jacob?
No, go out there and make a difference. We have a great profession. We got a lot of people graduating this week. Go make a difference and go see some movies.
Yeah, you gotta watch. Yeah, you gotta watch a movie. We'll get Brian's wife on here next time. She'll join the pod and she'll give us some. We'll find some way to tie in radiology.
Actually, neuroradiology. Yeah, we could. That would be great, but not to put her on the spot. But now she's on the spot.
We put our guest on the spot. That's why we told Brian not to prepare.
Yeah,
we don't want you to prepare. Other than watching a movie, we just want you to come on and be raw and unfiltered. I think our audience really appreciates that.
We just have fun.
Yeah, we just have fun with it. But that'll do us for another episode of the OD'ing on Movies podcast. Brian, man, thanks again for joining us and talking to us and giving us some tidbits and a whole bunch of game. And also be on the lookout for those basketball trials. We're going to be an optometry travel team. Something. Yeah. I envision something like the Globetrotters, probably.
Yeah. Well, something's gonna happen.
Thanks for having me on, guys. It's honestly, I enjoyed this. If there's any young ODs or students or old ODs, mid-career, whatever, if you have any questions about my experience or time in the military or anything else, feel free to reach out anytime. Yeah, so happy to chat.
Absolutely. All right, man. Fellas, awesome. Fantastic evening. That'll do us for this episode.
All right. Have a good one. All right. That's it for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow wherever you get your podcasts.
And don't miss the sequel. Get your eyes checked.